back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. Right, here are some of the pictures that were sent in to us on that eyewitness portal that I'm talking about. The first is this one from Ondo State. Our reporter says that it's the Okitipupa-Irele Bridge and it's in a dangerous state. The people are now calling on the government to come to their rescue. This next one shows traders with their goods risking their lives under a high-tension cable with a wheelbarrow on top of a bus coming into Nasarawa Egon Market. Our eyewitness reporter is asking the necessary authorities to ensure that road safety laws are adhered to in Nasarawa State. And in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, is this picture of a container balancing precariously on a trailer along Eleme Road. Our reporter says this is the usual practice which poses a great danger to other road users. Thanks a lot for sending in your pictures, and remember that you too can be a reporter for Channels Television wherever you are in the world. Now, for 4 whole months, they waited for the ministerial list from President Muhammadu Buhari. Expectations were high and there were anxieties, but the president kept to his word of September the 30th for the masquerade to be unveiled. Since then, there's been no shortage of reactions, but more importantly is that the ministers will be screened starting from tomorrow. Joining me now to look at the task before the Senate is a legal practitioner, Mr. Ebun Adegboruwa. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10 tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. It's
been a 4-month wait. Is that the list you were expecting? Is that what you hoped for when we waited 4 months?
Not by any means. Myself and other Nigerians were thoroughly disappointed by the contents of what the president has unveiled. It was not our own making. The president, on his own volition, overrated our expectations. He kept talking about searching for clean men. He kept talking about searching for technocrats. So we waited since May 29. As somebody who had contested the election 4 times, these people have been working with him. Take Mr. Malami, SAN, had been with him since CPC days. Take Bonaya Onu, had been with him since AMPP days. Governor Rotimi Amici was the coordinator of his campaign. Lai Mohammed was the machinery of his propaganda. Who was a stranger to him among all these people? That he needed to wait for 4 months to be able to unveil Fashola to Nigerians. So we were thoroughly disappointed, hoping that the president was genuinely really searching for people he had not known before. He was genuinely searching for people that would probably bring the expectation of Nigerians to a level that we know that there will be indeed some performance.
Well, some people say
it's a compensation list.
Some say it's too early for us to make such an analysis because obviously the second list has been sent and we don't know who is on that list. So perhaps we should wait?
No. You see, why we are complaining is that a lot has been wasted. Go to the stock exchange and see what we're losing for lack of somebody who is in charge of the financial sector of this country. Go to the judicial sector. For absence of an attorney general, we don't have a policy direction in terms of criminal administration, in terms of policy of corruption and the war against corruption, without an attorney general. So it's taken us 4 months of so much losses. Let's take the power sector, for instance. In my own unit, at least I celebrated 7 days of constant supply of blackout. We are back to generator. Everywhere is darkness now because there's nobody you can hold responsible. So the president had taken us for a ride. The president had wasted our time. And coming out with lists of Lai Mohammed, Fashola, with due respect to all of them on the merits, is not what we thought he was coming out with. And so that's why we were disappointed to say we didn't.
Well, even while you express your disappointment, I have to remind you to watch your language and be careful because you are talking to the nation tonight. So obviously you should be able to tone it down even while you feel your disappointment. But let me move on to the modalities of screening tomorrow. There's one particular modality that's generating a lot of talk, and that is having 2 senators from that particular state of the nominee, endorsing that candidate. Is that constitutional?
It is. In appointing a minister, the 3 most important factors is the appointment. After the appointment, there will be confirmation. After the confirmation, there will be oath taken by the particular candidate. The president has done the appointment and sent the list to the Senate. The most important stage to confirm a minister is that of the process of the screening and confirmation by the Senate. Without that confirmation, nobody can hold the office of a minister under Section 147 of the 1999 Constitution. So it's within the prerogative of the Senate to determine the rules, the procedure, and then the manner in which that confirmation will be carried out. And part of those rules is to ensure that they become familiar with that candidate, to ask questions. Now, their job is made difficult by the president in the sense that he just sent them a blanket list. No particular designation. You don't know who's going to be Attorney General. It's just a blind list. You don't know who's going to be a Minister of Petroleum, or you don't know who's going to be Minister of Finance. So the senators actually are going to be very difficult, find it difficult to do their job tomorrow.
Well, let's see what they do tomorrow. Let's look at the individuals who are on the list. Already you've seen certain groups coming out to protest against the candidacy of some of the nominees. We've seen a youth group coming out against Lai Mohammed. We've also seen for former Governor Fashola. Do you think they will scale all those hurdles and make it through?
I think that no matter the gravity of allegations that people have, it still remains within the realm of an allegation. And you be careful that you do not pronounce guilt on people without the normal sanction or process of judicial determination. And that's why you see when the Committee on Ethics met with former Governor of Rivers State, once they established that the issues were in court, they needed to step down on those matters. So the process of the confirmation actually shouldn't delve into too much controversy. It's a familiarization, because the Senate has a responsibility to be able to oversee those departments that these ministers will be assigned to eventually. So they needed to get themselves just to be familiar with their vision, just to be familiar with the kind of program they expect to give to the people in terms of delivery of democracy to our people. So tomorrow is not actually a screening per se, rather a familiarization with those candidates. And I don't think we should bring matters involving scandals, matters involving corruption. Surely, with all due respect, that's not the responsibility of Senate.
Okay, finally, now looking at the second batch of the list, we've seen youth groups come out to protest, saying that that is not what they were expecting. Same thing for the women. Are you expecting something different?
No, nothing different. If you look at the antecedent of the president, you see that from all the appointments made so far, it's been total disrespect for youth, total disrespect for women in terms of gender. So we still expect the president to continue to work with people who are old, to continue to work with people who are familiar with him, to continue to compensate those who made money available for campaign, those who made jet available for campaign. So it's going to continue to be this method of payback for those who work with the president. It's not necessarily a list based on merit.
All right, legal practitioner Mr. Ebun Adeboruwa, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on the news at 10 tonight.
Thank you.
We move on now. The former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswan, was today arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over allegations of corrupt practices in the state between 2007 and May 2015 during his tenure as governor. Mr. Suswan, who arrived at the commission's headquarters in Abuja around 9 a.m., was held at the EFCC office until 7 p.m. when he was allegedly released on bail after questioning. The former governor refused attempts to have him speak on the arrest and questioning by the anti-graft body, but the spokesperson of the commission, who confirmed the arrest earlier today, said it was in connection with the ongoing corruption investigation in Benue State. Mr. Suswan, who left office on May the 29th this year, is alleged to have made away with state funds running into billions of naira. And the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, says Nigeria needs to learn how Colombia survived insurgency for more than 50 years. The former president made the comments while leading some Colombian security experts to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari to share their experience in combating terror. When taken on by State House correspondents on the possibility of the Nigerian armed forces not defeating Boko Haram at the end of the president's deadline, Chief Obasanjo said the deadline is not cast in stone, but to encourage the troops to crush the sect. Chief Obasanjo also briefed President Buhari on his assignment as special envoy to Guinea-Bissau. And in politics, the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress in the forthcoming Kogi State governorship election, Abubakar Audu, has promised to declare a state of emergency on the economic and power sectors if voted in as governor. Mr. Audu was receiving a former leader of the People's Democratic Party, Leke Agbejide, who has defected to the APC with hundreds of supporters.
It was all jubilation at Community Secondary School playing ground, the venue of the rally when the Kogi State governorship candidate of the APC, Abubakar Audu, and Governor of Jigawa State, Abubakar Badaru, arrived in Alu, the Western Senatorial District of the state. The APC campaign train is in Alu to seek further support of the electorate ahead of the governorship polls scheduled to hold on November the 21st. After most dignitaries are duly recognized, Chief Audu and Governor Badaru mount the podium to receive a former PDP chieftain, Leke Abejide, who is dumping the PDP to pitch tent with the All Progressives Congress alongside hundreds of his supporters. Leke Abejide, who decomes to the APC, gives his reasons for quitting the People's Democratic Party.
PDP, they are conservative in nature. They remain where they are since they started. But my own mind is progressive in nature. So where I have family, where I believe I can relate with people, is APC. And that is why I moved to APC.
In the meantime, the PDP spokesperson in Kogi State, Bode Ogumola, says Abejide's exit will strengthen the party's internal democratic principles.
In as much as I will like to wish them well wherever they are going to, be it Jibril Issa Echosho, who contested the primaries and lost very badly, be it Abejide, who decided to leave the party yesterday. Honestly speaking, we are not ruffled. It is good riddance to bad rubbish.
More intrigues continue to trail the preparation for the Kogi State governorship election. But as the candidates go around to solicit for electorate's votes, it will be interesting to see just how these defections affect the results at the polls.
Thank you very much.
When the news at 10 returns, the NNPC dismisses reports that it slashed pump price of petrol. Do join us again.